Hello guys, this is NautoAisDx here once again, and it's gonna be, believe it or not, it's gonna be my response to AVGN on his 20th anniversary episode. He's reviewing the Mega Man series, the classic Mega Man series, the original Blue Bomber. Alright, so before that, little disclaimer here, I'm a fan of the AVGN. A lot of people do, I am also. But I mean, I'm not inspired. I wasn't inspired to go to YouTube because of this guy. But I just heard of this guy and he was entertaining, cool fella from what I heard. I mean, yes, I did call him out on certain situation. Of course, the movie. Like I said, I don't hate him for doing the movie. He had a passion for it. My basically argument down was that for a while he sort of kind of got cocky. That was the story. I gave my thoughts about it. But again, no, he's a cool guy from what I heard. Hey, man, I heard a lot of people mad at him with cool guys. So again, disclaimers, I have no problem with the AVGN. I'm a fan of the guy. And the only time I called him out was the movie thing. Because like I said, he just got cocky there. But that's in the past. The movie's done. Back to normal. Let's move on. So why am I even talking about the AVGN? Like, why do I want to respond to him? Well, for people know that what the AVGN is, AVGN basically for people who don't know what the AVGN is, it's James Rolfe, popular guy since in 2006 on YouTube, and he created a series called the Angry Video Game Nerd, which basically he's a gaming nerd who plays bad retro games, like very bad, very hard because they're playable, they're bad. Good games that are hard is different than bad games that are hard. That would be a different story. So, of course, if you've been following this guy, after a while, he used to do a lot of this, but after a while, like in 2015, 2016, he kind of like slowed down. I'll give my thoughts about it in another video blog, but the gist of it is that it's because the age of reviewing bad video game is kind of dying. I mean, it's still there, but most people now it's all about let's play. Thus, of course, their new series, Mike or James and Mike plays Monday play, whatever. So there you go. Again, different story. But once in a while he'll do an AVGN. And the reason why he did one is, believe it or not, 2016 is the 10th anniversary of the AVGN. There you go. So the game he chose was various Mega Man games. And so the premise in the review was he reviewed the classic Mega Man, Mega Man Legend, I guess Mega Man for the iDOS. Apparently there was some Mega Man, or not iDOS, Mega Man for the computer DOS, Mega Man X7, and I think that's it. And in the end, spoiler a bit, he started whining about Mega Man Soccer. Okay, so some of this game, it is subjective, whether they're good or bad, that's entirely up to you. But the response here is kind of like, I have to disagree to some of what James was saying about the games. And I know the whole point of the AVGN is review bad video game, or I guess to some extent reviewing hard games, because he's been reviewing some games that they're not really bad, to tell you the truth, in my opinion. The Legend of Zelda 2, Link's, The Adventure of Link, that's not a bad game. It's a hard game, but it wasn't a bad game. Ninja Gaiden 2 or the Ninja Gaiden series, again, not a bad game, very hard. Contra, another hard game, they're not bad, but I don't think I think he didn't review Contra. What he did was he went outside the box with this one, basically being himself, giving his thoughts about it. So, I mean, like I said, James Asian Memory, that's actually a cool one there. I missed that one. He did it with Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat, basically getting out of the character, basically just being himself. But that was sometimes he does review games that they're not bad. And I know for a fact there was a controversy he did that people didn't like. It was he bashed on the Sega CD. Again, like I said, it's subjective whether the Sega CD is good or bad. I don't think this is bad. I'm able to do some showcase, wink wink, but again, I don't know. Again, it's basically, in the end of the day, it's your opinion. That's really what it matters is. But some of his opinion, he gave the reason why he didn't or he bashed on the game. I kind of didn't really agree. So this is what the response is. First of all, the Mega Man game, the classic one from 1 to 6. Okay, he didn't really hate it in the game. Well, he wasn't bashing the game. He just said it was hard, and I agree. Especially Mega Man 1. By the life of me, I cannot ever finish Mega Man 1 because it's so, especially the end, it was just so hard and there's no E-Tank. So I have the one for the PS2, the Mega Man Anniversary Collection, and I can never, ever finish that. Oh my goodness, that game was just, oh. It's not a bad game. It's a good game. It's a very hard game. Managed to finish Mega Man 2 and so on. Actually, I did. I mean, Mega Man 2 to 6, thanks to the anniversary, I actually finished that, so I'm surprised. But beside the point, like I said, the Mega Man game 1 to 6, I agree. They're just hard games, but they're supposed to be hard games. There you go. And yes, I also agree that Mega Man 5 and 6, they kind of like got stale on the idea on the Robot Master, but you know, they're trying to do this annually for money. That's what Capcom is. And don't forget, Mega Man 6, you know, two of them were from, well, from the Americas. Nightman was made by a guy from Canada, and Windman was made some guy in somewhere in, I don't know, in somewhere in America. I don't know where, but you know, hey, props there one. So yeah. So again, but also just want to make a note here. I'm not going to be talking about like what the episode's all about because he does do time traveling, but because there's Easter there, like a tidbit of what's the significance of those years, and I'll probably explain that in the end of here, just that people want to know. But the point is, I'm just here for him about the game itself. So I'm okay. Moving on. So the next game that the AVGN reviewed was Mega Man for the DOS. So computer. I think he was playing in the Commodore 65. I have no idea what it is. I agree with everything. That look, just looking at it, look crap. Like, what the heck is that? Is that a Mega Man game? That looks so crap. So, you know, I agree with him. So moving on. So the next one he actually did was he reviewed the Mega Man X game. I forgot. He did actually do it, Mega Man X game. From I think I can't remember. I think it was X. I think he had it for X4 to X6. Yeah, X4 to X6. Don't know why. I don't know. I guess he didn't have the Super Nintendo one, or he probably didn't have it. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, so he reviewed that one. I kind of agree with it is. Again, they weren't really that hard per se, but they're not also easy. So yeah, I can agree with what AVGN did say. Cause I like the X series more than the original series. But yeah, those games are technically a bit hard also. I mean, I still need to finish Mega Man X6. That one, I never had a chance to finish it, so I should finish that one. I did finish 5 for the PlayStation. Also 4, I never finished that one, only 5. I have 5 and 6 for the PlayStation, then I got, again, the X collection also, believe it or not. But yeah, I never really finished 4. I hardly touched 6. I did play 5. I finished that one. So, yeah. Oh, and yeah, and of course, Maverick Hunter for the PSP, the revised version. It plays the same. So, yeah. But in a way, yeah, I do agree with what AVGN said about it. They're just hard. They're not bad, but they are very hard. But then we're gonna move on. We're gonna go back here later on because I'm trying to do this in order. So the next game he basically reviewed was Mega Man Legend 1. This is the one I kind of disagree with James here. I agreed most of what he did. The Mega Man Classic, the Mega Man for the DOS, Mega Man X 4 to 6. The Legend, not so much. Sorry, James. Because the Mega Man Legend series is one of my all-time favorite series, believe it or not. I love that series. I rented the first one, but I have Tron Bond and Mega Man Legend 2. I had it for the PlayStation. When I bought it, I played it religiously. They're not really that long per se, but the story is really good. So I'm kind of bummed out that there's no Mega Man Legends 3. Capcom, when? Seriously? I mean, you already finally had a PSN version of Tron Bond, Mega Man Legend 2, and Mega Man Legend. I was gonna buy Mega Man Legend when it was on flash sale. At one point, it was on sale. Kind of missed the boat. Oops. Because they're selling it for $10 rather than $6. Because again, when there's high demand, you get it. Okay. Beside the point, AVGN played and reviewed Mega Man Legend. He kind of sort of complained because it was like so confusing when playing on 3D with the PlayStation controller. True, I have to understand. I have to agree because especially remember the PlayStation. PlayStation, believe it or not, does not have analog control. That's not a joke. Even so, that they had a DualShock 1 controller or PlayStation controller with the analog, they never utilized that until PlayStation 2. Believe it or not. So I can agree with that part when you look back. Because even I think Mega Man Legend 64 actually was much better because it had an analog stick. PlayStation did it, even if it was enabled by using a PlayStation DualShock 1. From what I heard, it still plays as like with the digital. Kind of get it, but that's not hard. A bit of a complaint was, oh, I have to use the L and R button, L and R to move. I can disagree again like that because there are some games that you use L and R rather than the right stick, and it doesn't bother me. It's not that convoluted. So I'm sorry, I don't know why it's so convoluted. Like you're driving with two left hands. So that one, no, I kind of disagree. And then he sort of poked fun of the 3D aspect of Mega Man Legend. Again, I kind of disagree because the reason is, come on, it's in the PlayStation 1. It's a 30, it's like 3D. It's still in its infant stage in that one, or maybe a toddler stage. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be like PS2 graphic or PS4 graphic. So yeah, it's going to be blockish. I mean, it's still good enough to what it is. I mean, it has an anime feeling style. Again, I kind of disagree with what he did there. Kind of disappointing. But again, that is his opinion. The only thing that I agree with him was when he made a joke about Dirty Magazine. Yeah, because believe it or not, the Mega Man Legend game has some sort of innuendo. It's like kind of like innuendo. Because one of the spoiler here is in Mega Man Legend 1 and 2, there will be a point when you get, again, I can't believe I'm talking about this, is that in the Flutter ship, I guess I'm just going to say that, once in a while, Roll's going to be in the bathroom, and then you're able to get in. You're not going to see her take a shower, but you get to go in, and then all of a sudden you just see him, he gets happy, and then it's supposed to be like you get a reward from that one, like you get a bit of attributes, and then in the diary she kind of like gets word like, I can't believe Mega Man went to the bathroom while I'm taking a bath. So again, a little bit innuendo, I can agree with that. But again, is the Mega Man Legend game bad? No. But again, you have to understand it was in the PlayStation. Didn't really have analog control. But the thing that he also forgot to mention is that the Mega Man Legend has an auto lock feature. I don't know if he forgot about it or he just didn't know. There was also an auto lock feature. So that's also kind of like, I can't believe you kind of didn't mention that. Or the part that you can customize your character with the weapon. Just find the blueprints, find the parts, boom, there you go. But again, maybe the whole point is about trying to play hard games. So, like, when it comes to the Mega Man Legend, kind of disappointing that kind of like he didn't really talk the whole, like, the package about Mega Man Legend 1. He kind of missed some of the boat. Like, that's what graphics for the PlayStation. Controls can be clunky, but they're not hard to control. I mean, it's easy to learn. But again, it is just my opinion. I have no gripe with James for basically giving his opinion about Mega Man Legend. But I just said gonna play it more. Maybe he did. I don't really remember. Maybe he did play it on Mike's James and Mike Mondays. I gotta check that out. But again, good game. I just kind of disagree a bit with that one. So next one was Mega Man X7. Never played the game. And when he explained the game, I'm like, okay, I kind of agree with that one. So you're trying to make 3D, but then some stages you go 2D, shift to 2D plane. That doesn't make sense. I mean, just keep either 3D or 2D. Yeah. So I mean, the way it looks, I mean, it looks so crappy. I'm sorry to say. Like I said, remember, Mega Man 1 to 6 are actually good, and I can tell you this much. But judging what James talked about 7, I guess it looks so crap. I'm gonna tell you this another one. Mega Man X8, I bought it for $20. It is 2D. I mean, the game itself is in 3D, but the mechanics in 2D, and I can tell you, yeah, it's not as good as the original one. You get to play as Mega Man, Zero, and Axel. Mega Man X, Zero, and Axel. But I can tell you that, yeah, I mean, even X8, it went back to its root, and it's crap. I'm sorry to say it. I mean, it's improvement from X7, but it's crap. So you kind of get an idea that the series itself, sadly to say, it wasn't going to the good direction. I mean, Maverick Hunter, again, it's based on the NES, which is a 3D, but it still plays as like the NES version. So can't really judge that one. It just has 3D graphics. You can play as Vile in the new mode, but yeah, I mean, it plays like Mega Man X1, which is good. But Mega Man X8, I mean, even so, I played it religiously. Yeah, it's an okay game, but it's not as same as the first 6 one. So I can agree with James there. If 7 is bad, like I said, 8 is sort of getting better from 7, but it's not as good. So I'm gonna agree with James that, yeah, Mega Man X7 looks so crappy. So anyway, there you go. That's my response about it. That I do agree with most of his reviews on, or his thoughts, his opinion about the game. Mega Man Classic, I agree. They're good game. They're hard. The Mega Man DOS, yeah, it looks crap. Can't really say anything much. Mega Man X4 to X6, good, hard. Mega Man X7, got crappy for, I don't know what they did, because like I said, 8 didn't really do any better. I mean, a little bit better, but not so much. So I can agree with him. The only one, like I said, that I didn't really agree was the Mega Man Legend series. Not because I'm a super fan about the series, it's just that he was missing some pointers that he thinks it's a hard game to play. It is not, but it's not easy, but it is. The control is easy to learn. That's all I'm going to say. So there you go, my response to James on his Mega Man review. And James, congratulations for your 10th anniversary of the AVGN since 2006. And, if here's the part of the tidbit, okay. Alright, so it's a little bit spoiler, that's why I left it in the end, is that there's a part when James goes back in time, because the story is that he wanted to quit being the AVGN, so somehow, for weird reason, he had to go back in time. So the first one he came back to was, if you can remember, I can't really remember this one. I'm gonna say 2013, 2012-ish. I don't know when, but he went back in time when James was reviewing Independence Day for the PlayStation. So what's the deal? Why? Because it was basically Independence Day was the first ever episode for AVGN that he basically reviewed a bad video game on the PlayStation. Normally he does Super Nintendo, TurboGrafx, Genesis, or really old game. So this was the first time he did a PlayStation one. That's when he went back to that time. And then he went back to 2006 because that was when people knew what the AVGN thanks to YouTube. And if you want to know the history of how James came to be, he had a video about it. At the same time, if you have a chance, check out Patty and his Punk's YouTube channel. He has an interview with Mike. And Mike basically explained it of how the AVGN came to be. So there you go. Because 2006 is when all of this started. When the YouTube started, that's when the AVGN basically was born. Or at the time was the Angry Nintendo Nerd. But again, if you want to know the history about that one, check it out. The gist of it is, since he's trying to, it became sort of a business. He had to change it to the Angry Video Game Nerd from the Angry Nintendo Nerd. And then the last spoiler that one is, he went back to 2004. Why? Because that's the first ever AVGN was created, was 2004. He did it. He made it a record of himself using a VHS, and he only did 3, which is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Simon Quest 2, and I think wasn't it Karate Kid? What's the third one? I can't really remember. But there were 3 games that he did, and then he was gonna start from there. But then thanks to Mike, he basically he decided to make it to a franchise. There you go. So yeah, the year thing, it's a tidbit from, like I said, he went back because he went back to an year with the episode he did on the PlayStation. And he reviewed a bad video game on the PlayStation. Then 2006 when it all started. And then 2004 when he did this for fun, just, for his collection, and there you go. So that's my response to James about Mega Man game. Good job, James. Was entertaining. Hey, if you want to do more AVGN, hey, go ahead. Like I said, also, just in my opinion, the age of reviewing bad video game is not so popular anymore. I mean, heck, even Chris Board's our gamer, he hardly does it because he said the same thing. Because it's just that it's all about Let's Play. Let's just say that. So anyway, thanks for listening, James. Awesome. Keep up the good work.